in at tunesbyblog.com.
Papi, why you coming for your breathing like that?
My daughter. Hey, my daughter, yeah. The old people can say that curiosity kill a cow. What your no problem again?
Papi, I really don't have problem. But the way you breathing, say, it's like you running somewhere.
My daughter, ha yaka. If I give you the little G's, you yourself will be running to the same player running. So you just hold it there.
Papi, Papi, play on me now, lay on me. You know I your daughter too now.
My daughter, guess what? I had to run away from Wego. Ha yaka. Tuesday and Thursday, they got one show in town, they call it Logan's Hour. Man, that boy can talk the thing that are happening in Indiana. Even when you steal, even you doing wrong thing, the boy will talk it. You doing the right thing, the boy will praise you.
For real, Papi? No, that kind of thing that we want here all time, yeah.
My daughter, I'm telling you, let me tell you now, Logan's Hour come on every Tuesday and Thursday, 6 o'clock p.m. And when you want to watch Logan Hour, you gotta be on time, or else you watch the show after the show. But guess what?
What, Papi?
Just go to Facebook and subscribe to Logan Hour. You go to YouTube, you subscribe to Logan Hour. Anytime Logan Hour coming on, you will get notification. That the notification made me running at the door, my daughter, because I won't be laying back in my living room, man, and get ready to call on that show.
Papi, thank you so much for the information. But I see Tommy walking, coming it out. I don't know if I ate he looking at too. Oh, Tommy! Tommy!
Oh, what's that? What you calling my name like that for? What you calling my name like that for? Take your time and you get. I'm watching my Looking Hour. Don't got distract me, yo. Wait now. If you ain't got what to do right now, we're already enjoying ourselves. You better get involved with the fries, girl. Tommy? So you today, Papi was telling me that seriously? I'm going to look for Looking Hour, yeah. Papi, thank you. Thank you for telling me about Looking Hour.
My daughter, now Ada, don't say I'll tell you. Bye.
All right. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, depending on which part of the world you are. This is the Logan's Hour. Today promise to be a very great edition as always. And we have so many things on our plate today. So as you join us, share the show if you can. Tell someone that the Logan Hour is on. Today is Thursday. As usual, we come on every Tuesday and Thursday. So today going to be very great as usual. So hold on, as our tradition, usually when we come on, we love to listen to ourselves to know how we're doing. So you can just stick on just for the second. it shows that we are doing pretty good. So tell your if you have children by you, take your children from around the podcast right now, because today we're going to talk about big people issues. We're going to talk about sex. We're going to talk about the HIV record that just came up in Liberia. So there's so many things we're going to talk about. Can you imagine what is happening currently? 35,000 people plus has been affected with HIV and AIDS. So we will talk about that. We'll also read a statement from the National AIDS Commission as well. And there are so many other things we're going to talk about as usual, man. Trust me. I'm so glad to be back here again as always. It's not an easy thing to be here usually, because you have some other things to do, other engagements, you have job, you have plenty of things to do. You have your children, and I'm writing my book as well. So some of you are already talking about that book, and that book will come up soon. The book is not anything to really worry about. It's just to know who am I, because a lot of people have seen me, but they don't know who am I. So the title of the book is right here, Surviving the Unthinkable. So it has to do with my upbringing, where I started from, how I reached this far, my involvement with Liberia, when I was born, the Liberia Civil Crisis, the impact it had on me, and after the Civil War, just everything. Imagine yourself being a child, came to war, after war, reaching this far, and you will find all right in this book, Surviving the Unthinkable. It will also be on Amazon. You can purchase it if you want. But I will ask, if you love to know about someone, the best thing to do is to hear from the person himself, than to just assume that this person has always gotten things on the silver platter, not knowing, like people always say, do not judge the book by its cover now, so that the cover can be deceitful. All right. So again, we want to say thank you so much to all of you who joined us here today. Welcome again. Now today we're going to talk about sex. We're going to talk about another thing that is happening in Liberia, which is this growing wave of HIV and AIDS. It's the same as the drug epidemic we've been talking about. So HIV and AIDS is bigger than the drug issue. At least your brother or your sister can go to rehab and come back in the community safe. But if you are being diagnosed with AIDS, that is the real tough one. So since it is the trending issue right now, we will talk about that subject first before we go to any other subject. I know a lot of people, some people coming today and talking about, Fatima Bentu, Salif, what's happening between she and Yakula. Can you talk about that? And Liberian Senate, I said, well, I will try to, but usually I talk about what's happening in my community first. Then later on, I can expand outside of my community. But today, because this is a national issue that's happening within our country, so I would love to throw some light on that. I know today a lot of people have been waiting for me to respond to Mr. Richard Bouya as well. Just for clarity's sake, because I know someone called me talking about, Mr. Bouya, what's going on is not acceptable. I said, listen, nothing going on. We're not making no plow, so we ain't gonna do that here. Mr. Bouya only asked me a few questions about the role of a vice president in a non-for-profit organization. So I plan to talk about it as well today. We will talk about that as well. And there are so many things to talk about today. But when I heard about this issue that has to do with people living in Liberia with HIV and AIDS, see there, 36,000 Liberians living with HIV and AIDS. The virus has climbed from 34,000 in 2024 to 36,000 in 2025. The National AIDS Commission Chairperson, Dr. Cecelia Nuta, confirmed. So you see that? Dr. Nuta confirmed that. This is a real alarming situation currently in Liberia. This got me, I don't want to talk about anything else, but to just talk about this situation here, because it is very serious to the point where if we overlook this, right, someone in your family, someone somewhere that you so love and cherish might come down with this thing, then it becomes a whole community issue. Because the thing about it is a chain. Let me tell you about this now. I used to be the chairman for Image Beta, one of the chairman, Image Beta Incorporated, and it was a HIV and AIDS organization, carry on awareness, going from place to place, and some of the prerequisites to going forward or having a better position in the institution, you have to be tested. You have to be free of HIV and AIDS. And we were like 23 vying for the position. And the day we should have been tested, nobody came. And I was confused. So the reason why I say this is that a lot of people who also live with all HIV and AIDS, they are afraid to be stigmatized because that's the major part that people are afraid of. Because few things you have to go through counseling before you get tested. You got to go through counseling. They got to tell you, just in case if you are tested positive, you still have the window period of 90 days. Within that 90 days period, then you go back to be retested. If you are retested and come up positive, then yes, you are positive. Now, the reason why more people don't want to get tested is because they live with the mindset that if the community get to know that I will test positive, now people are going to stigmatize me. Everybody going to carry my knee around. What my community people are going to say about me. So now it becomes an issue where a lot of people live with HIV and AIDS, don't want to get stigmatized. They run back in the various community and they decide to do what they usually do. So this is another really alarming situation. So today I'll be advising a few people. And no disrespect, I'll be advising our girls, the one they call the home girls, you know, the one that was sitting in the house with a mind part and they go to school. You can think that the one that is very safe, but the one that is more exposed to these things. And another group of people who more exposed to these things are the one that drink on a daily basis, what we call alcoholic or habitual drinker or addicted drinker or whatever name you put to them. They drink almost every day. They say they drink to forget about their worry. Some of them even quote the Bible verse. I talk about Proverbs 1:7 when King Lemuel was advising him. They say let him drink and forget about his worry and remember his mistress no more. So we talk to them and say, oh my man, I drink it, you know, they go to the airport and get no job. And those people then they are more exposed to this situation too. I will talk to them. Then another group of people who I would love to talk to today as well would be the ones we call country chicken. Country chicken, in a sense, is not though it sounds derogatory, but country chicken are those in the community, the little children and where not too far from your house, where if your mean girlfriend cannot kind of just scratch your hand, you haul in your house. The one we call country chicken, where sometimes in the Bassa vernacular, people can also refer to them as tatting badayi. They're not far from you. You can always they want they are like remote control. You can just say pump. They are there. They don't have excuse. They don't have no in the mouth for you because they respect you as older person in the community, someone who can always do things for them. So and they want to be identified with you. So we'll talk to those people too as well. Then the last group of people we're going to talk to here will be the one that can leave from America and go to Liberia. Well, when they come by, the only thing you can hear them saying Liberia sweet, but Liberia sweet has a meaning. They say Liberia sweet for one good reason. Not all of them. Some of the male, when they come back, they say Liberia, my man, Liberia, damn sweet. You might know Liberia sweet in always. And some of those ones, they are also vulnerable to these things that we are about to talk about today. I know today is not a topic that a lot of people love to hear about, but it is something that we all need to get involved. We need to talk about. And let's see how we all can try to prevent these things that are happening in our dear country. Because Liberia is a small country that has less than 6 million population. Maybe now if you do the current statistics in 2025, probably we might be around 6 million, but we should be 5.8, 5.7 million people now to have these growing wave of 36,000 people confirmed. So if you find 36,000 people confirmed, it shows that you might have up to approximately 50 or 60,000 people confirmed because these are confirmed people that were tested. positive. So imagine a lot of people who are not being tested positive. Because I'm going to talk to you so much about the chain, because when we were in training for HIV and AIDS workshop and thing, they talk about the chain. The chain is very simple. You can think that you're safe, but if you follow the chain, it will tell you that you're not even safe. You're not in your house, are not even safe, except you go and do your tests. It's very likely. You see, some people can feel that they are in some committed relationship. Oh, my husband love me. My husband, when they talk about it, oh, one thing I know, my husband will go to work, come home on time, and but nobody know what you know that their friend don't. And it got something called the chain. One person can give it to more than 20,000 people. One person can pass the virus on to more than 20,000 people. So let's talk about what happened today. The news that came out is sad. Honestly, it's sad to hear our little small little country we so love going through the kind of thing here. Talk about 36,000 people. They won't hear. If your brother or your sister tend to Zogo, you can deal with it. You can deal with it. Now, if your brother or your sister is today pronounced with HIV, the hemoimmune deficiency virus, you can try to say, well, we'll provide medication, let it have a lot of medication now for HIV and a lot of medication for AIDS. But can those medications stop you or eliminate the HIV and the AIDS? No. HIV, yeah, you can work on it. It can be maybe probably cure. But AIDS, the acquired immune deficiency syndrome, cannot be healed easily or healed. It's almost like someone who has herpes. Herpes are those minor things that you overlook, but it has no cure. All you can do, you can only minimize the way it's supposed to treat you, but you cannot cure them. So this is what today is very important to me. It's very important that I talk about this today because we will go down in history that we once spoke about these things. And we'll talk to the four category of people, the one we call country chicken, those who refer to as alcoholic, and those who refer to as the home girls, so-called home girls or big girls. Yeah, they put that there, big girls. Yep. And those who come from America, those young guys or young girls, when they get back home, they feel they're on top of the world now. And some of our brothers come from there, just feel that Labrador so sweet, my man. How Labrador sweet? Because you are fortunate enough to maybe make love to maybe 10 girls or 15 girls or 25 girls now. Now your interpretation of Labrador so sweet is you have vulnerable people, you have people who can't ready afford. You can use $20 to have 2 person in a day. So your interpretation of being a big boy is different, and everybody else go for a different reason. But today, this report that talk about 36,000 people in Liberia currently being diagnosed with HIV and AIDS is very serious. Very, 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 very serious. If we are not pay attention to anything, this one should be very serious to us. We have to give more attention to what is happening right now. What is happening right now? So let's see the report from the National AIDS Commission. I think if you can see, let me just put that on the screen right here. If you'll be able to see that, then you can also try to read that as well. This is it right here. This is from the National AIDS Commission. So let's see here. What can we read here right now? Just a second. If we can find the document to read it. So it's on the screen right now, as you can see. Let me try to pull that document. All right. So they said Monrovia, November 20th, 2025. The National AIDS Commission, NAC, has raised serious concern over a steady increase in HIV cases across Liberia, revealing that the number of people living with the virus has climbed from 34,000 in 2024 to 36,000 in 2025, with women bearing the greatest burden. You see that? They put perceived emphasis on women. The population that has this virus so much, they are women. They are women. The alarming statistics were disclosed by NAC Chairperson Dr. Cecelia Nuta during a press briefing ahead of the Liberian observance of the World AIDS Day on December 1. Dr. Nuta stated that women remain disproportionately affected, describing the situation as a public health challenge that requires immediate and targeted intervention. Women by far constitute the most affected group in Liberia, HIV burden, Dr. Nuta stated. We urgently need increased domestic support and more focused program if we are to reverse this trend and protect vulnerable population. According to data from UNAIDS, HIV prevalence among adult. So she said, according to this data from the UNAIDS, HIV prevalence among adults aged 15 to 49 stands at 1.2% for women, so high, compared to 0.6% for men. Based on this figure, approximately 24,000 of the 36,000 Liberians living with HIV are women, making them nearly 2/3 of the affected population. You see that? You see that? 24,000 are women. What the rest of them are men. So imagine if we're discussing 36,000 and 24,000 are women. Let's go to the story. What does the story say? Health experts attribute the gender disparity to the combination of biological vulnerability and socio-economic challenges, including poverty, limited access to healthcare, gender-based violence, and inadequate sexual and reproductive health education, particularly among young girls and women. That's very serious. Dr. Nuta further warned that Liberia HIV response remain heavily dependent on international donor funding, a situation she described as unsustainable. The NAC Chairperson further called for a stronger government commitment, increased domestic financing, and expand a community-based program to enhance prevention, testing, and treatment efforts. Liberia cannot, she's saying this, Liberia cannot continue to depend largely on external funding. She cautioned, if we are to meet global HIV target and safeguard our citizens, especially women, we must take ownership of our national response. As part of the upcoming World AIDS Day activity, the NAC plan to roll out intensified awareness initiative, including mobile testing, community dialogue, media campaign, and youth-focused outreach program aimed at promoting early testing and reducing stigma. That's a real one. The commission expressed hope that the latest data will serve as a national wake-up call, encouraging policymakers, civil servants, and communities to strengthen the fight against HIV and AIDS through sustained gender-sensitive strategies. With women accounting for nearly 2/3 of these infected, stakeholders warn that failure to address the growing imbalance could undermine Liberia's broader public health and development goals. The NAC has therefore called for renewed unity, increased investment, and decisive action to curb the spread of HIV and AIDS, protect the most vulnerable population. What is there we go? Let me see here. Just a second. Yes. So there you have it. There you have it. Now, we have two serious problems now. Number one, we're talking about HIV and AIDS. Number two, we're talking about drugs. It's on our market. Now, HIV and AIDS tend to be another big one that is eating up our society. 36,000 people. 36,000 people positive. Imagine that. And of the 36,000 people who are positive, 24,000 of them are women. Yeah. They inside. Imagine you have 36,000 people positive on HIV and AIDS, and of the 36,000, you have 24,000 women. And it listed the reason why these people might be in this kind of vulnerable situation. There are so many factors contributing towards this. So many factors. So the ages that they talk about, that this thing here, the HIV and AIDS, are more prevalent, is between the age of 15. Imagine your 15 years to 49 years. Imagine that. Ages 15 years to 49 years. So children at 15 years old in the community. Imagine 15 years old child coming down with HIV and AIDS. So there are so many reasons that the doctor and the health experts believe this is spraying. They say health experts attribute the gender disparity to a combination of biological vulnerability and social economic challenges, including poverty, limited access to healthcare, gender-based violence, inadequate sexual and reproductive health education, particularly among young girls and women. The people make it clear to you. They say the reason why they think it's spraying, because they believe that young girls are not getting the proper education they need. In short, because if they are educated about these things, it will be very easy to help them to prevent it. Now, let's go to the first people on our list. The one that we call the country chicken. The one that was easy to take the thing here home. Some of the easier way this thing can spread, we're going by what we call the chain now, because we learned that when we were doing the HIV and AIDS training. When it comes to the chain, these people you call country chicken. Like, for example, I said country chicken, but I'm not trying to be derogatory. I'm just trying to refer to like the little girls in the community, like the way the press conference described age 15 years old to age 49 years old. Those 15 years old in the community, 14 years old in the community, we have predators in the community. They ain't like America where somebody will just consent citizen will call number, or somebody will just press a button, or even if you download the Predators app on your phone and you just, if you are public park and you just hit the app, they will tell you, say, oh, sexual predator is in 4 mile, in 3 mile, in this one, he coming in this direction. You can know because they are registered into the system, because they are being arrested and their name has been placed in the system. But now, Liberia, we don't have that. So some of our big guys, so-called big boys, they have the low children in the community called, some of them refer to them as country chicken, or they say about leg or they get all kind of need to describe them. So if they go around, maybe go out, have fun, and coming back home, they have nothing to cool their test on. They just hit that leg or send a text message. Hey, what's up? What you out here? The leg too. She's so excited. She's so excited to come to meet with a b-boy because she knows she meet a b-boy. It's a privilege to tell her friend and say that person is my boyfriend. 2, that person will find little something for you to eat the next day. Or 3, she afraid taking your quarter communication from her, and which of course she's using that you the big person for validation for her friends, her peer to respect her. So now she become the much easier person that you can just have sex with easily, with all stress, with all a lot of communication, with all a lot of questioning. Now she comes to you and you both will go to bed and have what you want to have. Sometimes they are not respected. Sometimes they can even go in your car. Sometimes you have to take them in your bedroom. But now, there's a common saying. They said in these things when we're doing the workshop, they said the easier way or the most common people who are more vulnerable to these things are those people I just named. The little girls in your community. Because they are not brave enough to see you as the adult, you as the person who has the money, to tell you, say, oh, uncle or big brother, please wear a condom. They cannot say that. That sounds so offensive to you. They are saying in their mind that if I say this to this man, he might think that I'm exposed. In fact, I have a multiple boyfriend. If I have how I got to know about condom. So the lady in her mind want to say that to you. but she's afraid, thinking that when she say that to you, you have different perception. Possibly, you might think that she's been doing it with other people. That's why she exposed to condom. So now, what she do? She carried that burden in her heart. She don't say nothing about it. She lays down there, thinking in her heart, I hold it, uncle, yeah, he got something sick now. But she cannot say it. The uncle too, he never been tested. He have multiple girlfriends all around the place because he got money. Now he going on with a little innocent little girl and passing what on to her. And because her also too depending on him to get one or two, or she's just a little person looking for validation, she receives what he gives, and she too take it on to her little boyfriend in the community. The little boyfriend take it from her, take it to his own little girlfriend in the community. Then that big brother or whoever person has his own serial girlfriend. Now he taking it back to his own serial girlfriend. This is how the chain reaction works. So before you realize it, you are in a serious trouble. You are in a serious trouble. So from that little girl or from that little big brother who's in the community acting like, well, everybody afraid of him, he can just command or what he wants, it becomes a way where that little girl might spray up to her equal peers or little boyfriend around the community or maybe to a school. Now this big brother too taking it to his big time girls that he hang out with, where sometimes know that they're around, he find a little girl to cool his test. Now it become a problem. Just for the two people, the community is already effective. Now the little girl, she having this problem, the big brother having this problem. Both of them has not been tested. Now those records are uncounted. This starts to spread around in the community. So that's why I say if this report, the National AIDS Commission can come and say 36,000 people has been tested positive, then it tells you that today we have up to out of 60 or 80,000 people, because you have a lot of people have not been tested, because like way back when we're coming, already have one area in Liberia called Black Gate in Sinka, where HIV and AIDS patients used to go for medication. Now, a lot of people, because they don't want to be stigmatized, they don't go there because they don't want to be seen coming from that identical facility. Because when people in the car coming from Sinka and see you coming from in that fence, they believe that, oh, that person get AIDS. So now, a lot of people live in the community. A lot of people live in the community with HIV and AIDS. There's one story with a girl who she came down with the virus because her plan was when she graduated from high school, she want to go to college. She want to be 21 years old before she get to know about man business. So she had this person who was in school with her, nice looking, charming guy, keep complimenting her, keep validating her. You know, women, they crave on validation. So she got emotionally attached to him at a certain point in time. So when she, on her day of graduating from high school, she kept herself virgin all through the line. When she was about to graduate from high school, she said to herself, this person been so nice to me and he's my boyfriend. We both growing together. So I assume we will be together forever. So I think I will give him myself on the day of my graduation, and he will be the first to put an end to me. So her virginity was given to him on her graduation day, thinking that he's clean, thinking that he's all the things he's been doing is genuine. But not knowing this person who has been complimenting her, validating her, emotionally getting attached to her, this person was having the virus. He had AIDS. And now, after on her graduation day, as I stated, she was so overexcited and kissing her boyfriend and decided that today, I will give you the chance to go ahead and virtualize me. And you will have the record that you the one broke my virginity. Now he have what he wanted to have on her day of her graduation, and after a certain point in time, as the story goes, he passed away. One time, when two of them had a little misunderstanding, they stopped talking, and when he passed away in her absence, and she went to go find out about him. When she got to the house, she asked, I stopped seeing this person for some time, and what's happening? They said, oh, he passed away. She said, what? They said, yeah, he had AIDS. He died from AIDS. And she was frustrated. She was broken. And what she decided to do in retaliation was, since men are so ungrateful, men are so unfair, she wasn't going to be fair. She was going to spread the virus. And what she did, she spread that virus to 610 men. And every 610 whatever men she slept with, she documented. And she was so beautiful to the point that men couldn't resist her. She carried herself to men willingly. And she documented over 610 men. Do you know what, Shab? We have her pictures up. We saw the documentary evidence of all of the men she slept with. And all of the 610 men have their own family. They have their wives home. They have their multiple girlfriends. And at the end of the day, what happened? So I'm saying this to add to this country chicken story. So most of the little girls in the community, what you call home girls, the home girls are the one who are most likely to have the virus because they are not big enough to tell you, say, hey, wear your condom. Sometimes you can think that prostitute is the one who carrying the virus, but prostitutes, sometimes they don't. Prostitutes, sometimes they are clean because the woman have seen everything she have experienced. So immediately you meet her, she tell you, say, hey, wear your condom. What you doing? When you say, oh, I don't have condom, you say, okay, we will celebrate to you another time. No condom, no sex. But the little girl in the community, she can't do that. She will just relax and scare, thinking that when she tell you to wear condom, you have different impression of her. You start thinking she's so exposed. You start thinking that, oh, you know how we men can be sometimes. It let you having sex with people that can be using condom. Then she get free. Now you start doing flesh to flesh. Now the leg is affected. The 36,000 people they just named, that's how some people came down with it. Now you take it back to your family. Imagine now, you take it back to your family. And that's become a family issue. Another thing again, those that drink regularly. Oh, those that drink regularly. They get some people, they're alcoholic, but they live in denial. When you tell them, say, hey, my man, you are alcoholic, it means that they live in denial. I'm sorry, I know that, excuse me, a lot of people think that, excuse me, let me get some water. While I'm getting water, let me just give me just a few seconds. Let me get some water, please. I'm not. All right, so I'm back. There are some people, there's a lot of guys, female as well, drink alcohol. Some people drink moderately. And in everything, the Bible spoke about moderation. When you drink in certain ways, you can have better control over yourself. When we were much younger, when I used to drink, we have certain things. Why I told you take your children from this show today, because today's show is very explicit. No, we're not keeping nothing on the cover. We're going to call everything by its name. When I used to drink, and my friends used to drink, we had this story. We say, drunk. When you drunk and your penis is active, you have no choice. So, which means when a person is drunk or they are intoxicated, let me use the right word. When they are intoxicated, their judgment is clouded for one fact. Though they have standards, but their judgment is clouded. At a certain point in time, a girl who he used to think that she's beneath his standard, she might be the top girl for that moment. And a girl who thinks that this guy is not my type and blah, 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 because her judgment is impaired at that moment, that person might just use or take the advantage of her and take advantage and rob. That's why you see most time when a man taking a girl out, the first thing he want to do is to offer you alcohol, because the first motive is, well, can we get down? Because if a man see a girl say, I want you, the first thing that comes to his mind is sex before logical conversation can continue. So if you smart enough and have more conversation, you get to know him. But if you want to give him in bed sooner, that's fine. But sometimes alcohol mess things up. Alcohol mess things up. Because imagine you from whatever place you're from, you meet this beautiful lady sitting at the bar, and HIV and AIDS, it's not written on anybody's face. Trust me. I can say this for sure. It's not written on anybody's face. Nobody can see a person today and thinks that, well, the person is positive or the person is negative. No. It's just by the grace of God. But the best thing you can do for yourself, I can say this to people, is to get tested. You know, I used to do these things and people think I was crazy. Even my friends used to think I'm crazy. I used to just randomly get tested. And so my friends would be like, what? Brother, you are brave. I said, it's not being a brave person. It just want to be sure. Because God forbid excuse. If if I go to the hospital today and say you're HIV positive, what will I do? Kill myself? No. I will take the requisite medication required for it to help to live longer. Not to go and put myself in one corner and say all the worst thing about me and talk about how life has abandoned me and God, why this, or go sit down in one church and somebody keep putting hand on my head, thinking that all of a sudden God going to perform some miracle and everything going to last for me. No, I know it don't work that way. So people who drink excessively, let me just simplify it. Those people who drink excessively drink to the point where you don't even know yourself, where anything that shake in front of you, like a woman, you ready to run behind it. They got a saying, they say, drunk vet not have no choice. Now, you vets, your penis is active. Imagine you going to tell the girl, or the girl going to tell you, say, wear a condom. How can you drunk? You can't even wear your pants good. Can you wear a condom? No. You don't even know where the condom start from. You even know where it end. The only thing that's going to jump to your mind is, I want to jump inside. And so you jump inside, sleep carry you. The next day in the morning, you get up with your problems. She going home with her problems. It become a community problem for the both of you. Yes, it become a community problem for the both of you. So these things, talking about 36,000 people in Liberia currently, we have to be very careful with ourselves. I'm saying don't go and womanize or manize, because most of our men as a whole, I'm talking about the women too much. We feel that the number of girlfriends we have, it proof to our peers that we are big boy. Our big boys come from, my man, I ought to get him again, I ought to get him again, I ought to get him again. So it shows that you are big boy. But now you stand a serious chance of coming down sick later on. And when you get sick, hey, yeah. Let me say this. You can have everything. You can have a private jet. You can have your home 100% paid for. You can have beautiful children. You can have the most beautiful wife. You can have the best job, higher paying. But when your health is threatened, life simplifies itself. Nothing matters to you now. Only one thing matters to you. I want to get well. So I don't care how you reach. Your reach doesn't matter at that point. All of your problems tend to one. And that one thing is, my health is at risk. Because your health is your wealth. So I'm not saying don't drink, though. No. Drinking excessively, making irrational decisions, that's a serious problem. That's a serious problem. Most of you girls going to the club, going to the bar, seeing a man footing on the whole table, and you thinking that, oh, man, come on, why you come on? They got real doing it. We got on a junk. We're going to eat money. He's not junk. He's not your junk. He has a goal. He has a target. He's going to give you something. And that's something he's going to give you. You're going to live with it for the rest of your life. Some of these guys, they already know they are positive. The first thing, let me tell you how some of the big boys can do their HIV tests. They will sleep with one girl, and they know they have been suspecting themselves of HIV and AIDS because of certain things the day before. Then they sleep with this girl and tell this girl to go get tested. Now, when she get tested and she tested positive, then he used that her positive result to know his status. You see that? He used her result to know his status. And because he's an influential person in society, he don't want to go to the hospital, so the community don't know him. He lives with it in his mind. But he cannot stop doing what he's doing because it's part of him. Promiscuity is part of him. If he being promiscuous, it gave him some relevance. It gave him some entitlement. It gave him some level of validation. So, as you're drinking, be careful. Be careful. This thing about 36,000 plus people in Liberia have HIV and AIDS is serious. The reason why I'm mentioning that it's so serious and I'm emphasizing on it, because I work with an HIV and AIDS organization. I do. I know how serious it is. I know how one person can affect our entire community. One man who you see sitting down cool. Even pastors, choir members, they are not exempted. They are all inclusive. There are some pastors who cannot keep the zip up. You give them the chance, they'll give you the warrant. Once they get in ties, they will put a zip down. And when he leaves, he go home to his wife. And when he go to his wife, he will make love with his wife. And his wife will be mother in the church and come down with the virus because women, they want to be a little more transparent. She'll be like, oh, I'm not feeling too well a few days. I'm going to go to the hospital. Now she go to the hospital and says she HIV positive. The first person her mind run to is my husband. Husband, you say you pastor in the chair all day, you preaching, how can? Then the pastor say, oh, that you family about to tear apart. Then the wife say, Pastor, I go do the HIV test. Pastor say, I'm going right now because I got my fasting to do and that nonsense not bringing to me. Because he know he cannot do it because of his deeds, he tend to be more masculine in terms of his anger. Now he get frustrated. He want to hit on you. He get more abusive. He get more aggressive because he cannot admit to the truth. So this is not just a simple thing. This become a whole community thing. And when you don't curve this situation from being a community thing, it tends to be a national issue. In South Africa, at a certain point in time, there was a whole national health emergency. Because criminals to the point, they reach a certain point in South Africa, they say, you know what happened? Since we don't have gun to rob people, what they will do? They will go grab a monkey to the syringe, pull the blood from in the monkey, and hold the blood like this in the hand, and go to unrob. Or sometimes they meet you in the street and take the syringe with the blood and want to take a handbag. And when you say you cannot give a handbag to the syringe, they want to eject you. And now you know because of HIV and AIDS is so hard, now you're afraid. Because when he ejects you and put the blood, you believe that that blood is HIV contaminated. Now you're going to give a property. He don't have gun, but you're using just syringe with blood in it. So that's why when we're talking about these things happening in our dear Mama Liberia, we speak about it with a lot of passion because we know these things can affect a whole entire community. Another people I want to talk about, I talk about the poor who drink plenty. I talk about the country chicken. Another many I want to talk about girls specifically. Those home girls, those so-called bijune. Yeah, they tussle. Those so-called bijune, they crave validations. And you see, no disrespect, but if you want to be a classic woman, if you want to be that woman who you want to demand respect, work. When you earns it, go and get it. My daddy always used to say that. When you say, Daddy, I want that slipper, you say, can you afford it? You say, yes. You say, then you can buy it. If you can't afford it, be content with what you have. Our so-called big girls, hey man, no disrespect to you. You slow down. With that kind of news, the best thing you can do for yourself, go get tested. Go get tested. Because most of them, I'm not saying all of them, they want to have Michael Kors bag. They want to have Louis Vuitton slipper. They want to wear gold chain because they see their friends wearing it. They are on competition. They want to live in certain gated community, but they cannot afford. Now, if you cannot afford, how do you think you're going to obtain it? You're going to be someone producing them. Somebody going to be the one who providing them for you. And that person who providing them for you that can afford, that person have their own side squeeze. That side squeeze have their own side squeeze. That person have their own side squeeze. And sometimes that's where the things happen from. The best thing you can do for yourself right now, if I'm in Liberia with the result of 36,000 people coming down with HIV and AIDS, I will get tested today. 36,000 people coming down with HIV and AIDS according to the National AIDS Commission record today. Database saying 36,000 people positive with HIV and AIDS. I will get tested today. If I were in Liberia. I used to do the thing. My friends would be like, oh, you crazy. I'd be like, I'm not crazy. I can get tested. If I'm positive, I'm positive. All I need to do, take the treatment. So most of our big Jew then, trust me, big Jew then, you'll be big Jew, go work. Go work. Man providing everything for you, and I mean big Jew. Everything you want, a man providing, I mean big Jew. Go and work. Because the same man who provided the same thing for you, he get about 13, 14 girlfriends. Because he can afford. Now what happened to you? Temporarily, somebody provide iPhone 11, and now we're almost to iPhone 25. So when we reach to iPhone 25, what will you do? I remember way back in the days when we were in Liberia, 3310 came. Some of the people who were in government, some of the big brothers at the time I knew, when we go and visit them, we see the girls are all around the place on some of the Papillon farm and go to the farm like that to go visit. Because we were privileged to live with big people too. So we'll go see the girls there all around the place. For what? 3310. How much for a? I think it was $115 or $120. SIM card was what? $65. Then they put money on the SIM card, how much? $15. Like a woman was giving herself for. And forgetting to know that today you get iPhone 30. And if possible, your joke iPhone will reach to iPhone 100. So what will you do if you need giving yourself for iPhone 15? Then when 16 can you get yourself again? 17 can you get yourself? Before you reach 100, you get 0 mile. So these things are so serious. Now the people discussing HIV and AIDS. I remember one particular big brother before the MPP. I remember I was young, I was Peking. That big brother came to my house. He was sitting talking with somebody. He said, "Oh, I done when a company in town with Lone Star Cell." And he said he was going to get a whole box of 3310 and it will be for social girls. And each of them will pay. He was not talking about catch. He was talking about sexual favor. So, as a big Jew, go get tested. Go get tested. With the news of 36,000 people like bro having HIV and AIDS today, go get tested. It will be a better thing to get tested to know your status. When you know your status, then you start being a little careful. But until then, you are not free. No one is free if you don't know your status right now. If you are in Liberia with the 36,000 people that the National AIDS Commission announced today have HIV and AIDS, if you don't know your status, if you have not been to the hospital, they'll say, this is my record, I'm HIV free. You are not exempted. You are included. You are included. So if you want to be a big Jew, go work. Be able to afford everything for yourself. Because the man who giving you that small thing, you call your godpa, working just come visit and get you a, you go again, he come out to the next time, he get his own people there on the other side, the people then get it on the pool on the other side, the pool then get it on the other side, he do get a wife, when he get home, he transfer it, and everybody just receive it. Everybody just receive it. Then the last group of people I want to talk about before I can go to the other topic here today. Yeah. You know what? Before we talk about the last group of people then. All right. So we are back. So we have these last group of people here. So it's hard. When I think about it, it hurts me to my stomach. Just from 2024, we had 24,000 people who were positive HIV and AIDS. Now to 2025, we have 36,000 people that have been tested. They say the entire country, they say people that have been tested. So imagine those that never want to be tested. So we have almost 100,000 plus with HIV and AIDS in that country right now. And the age range is from 15 to 49. 15 years old to 49, people that have been tested. So imagine if a 15-year-old child can come out with HIV and AIDS. So imagine how prevalent this is. Now, my last group of people I want to talk to, the so-called big boy and big Ghanaian that visiting Liberia. HIV and AIDS is rare. Let me say this. HIV and AIDS is so freaking rare. Don't joke with it. Don't joke with it. The reason why I'm making more emphasis because I was privileged enough to have worked with Image Beta. an HIV organization, and we know about the chain. What I'm saying, I knows about it. We were 3 going to get tested for one position. Nobody show up. So I know how people don't want to get stigmatized. I know what people feels. That if people see them tomorrow, what people will say, like America and other places, they got all the medication. They got Bitapi and whatever medication. People just go and get a medication and take their medication. Liberia, sometimes you go to Green Gate to get it. Now you go to any pharmacy or hospital and it's supplied with HIV and AIDS medicine. The first thing that nurse or whoever person going to take their phone and send tests and everybody say, oh, guess who can you today for HIV medication and who? That fit you. Oh, but don't tell me that thing, ba. Oh, I'm telling you, I don't want to get the medication to the man. If I told the picture, it name on the prescription. So a lot of people scared. A lot of people scared. So it is serious. It is serious. And I'll be born in. And I talk about our big junior, our big born in. What most of our big brother in or small brother in when they go Labrador, they come back. The first thing that come from them up, what? That country is so damn sweet, my man. Labrador damn sweet. Now, okay, when people tell me Labrador damn sweet, you know I love you to put it into context. I want to know why made Labrador sweet. And after all the discussions, Labrador will be sweet because of woman. Labrador will not be sweet because infrastructure wise or policy wise, or the government have decided to do this, their new innovation. We're getting overhead bridges now to commute from one place to another place is much easier. The rule of law is working. People alleyways are being open. No, Labrador cannot be sweet from that perspective when you speak to most of the young people who live in Liberia. The interpretation of Labrador damn sweet is that one man ought to live from here. The girls he can stand it from here because here everybody almost out of equilibrium. Everybody can afford. Now he gets back Liberia. He found vulnerable populations. He can give $20 to cook pepper soup, and that $20 can get one more to sleep with. And so getting I even want $20. So getting just want to be identified with you that that boy I came from America, you know, I his girlfriend. That all they want. She get validations from her friends. They be like, oh, bad for real? Wow. You small jewel. That all. Now, the brother leave from here, gets to Liberia. He using his advantage that he from America. In a get can, he fire. In a get can, he operate. In a get can, he operate. Now, what happened to him? He leaving his family back here. Now, he do all of that. He come back home. What will he do? Pass it on to his family. Now the girl in Liberia too, who thinks that because he's from America, he's safe. Not a lot of people up here, they are HIV positive. The difference is that they are in a better society where they can go and get tested and know the status and still take their medications. But what happened when you go to him unprotected? What happened to you? He passed it on in the name of my boyfriend from America, that big boy. Now all of you live with this virus. So this is so serious. December is coming. We have a lot of December will be coming down. We have most of our brothers that will be coming down again. Most of our sisters will be coming down again. I know some of you there can't wait because the men are saying you're gonna iPhone 12, iPhone 13, you know, pack some kind of barrel with his small thing in here. So you believe that, oh, my man coming down. Oh, my man coming down. That excitement, the best you can do for yourself is to say, hey, how are you? I'm excited you are here. But there's this growing wave of HIV and AIDS that has been announced by the National AIDS Commission. Currently, 36,000 people has been affected with these things. And now, the Ministry of Health and Social Welfare had a free testing area. Is it possible that we both go there and get tested before we can start operating? And hear what he says. When he refused to, don't take the risk with him. When she refused to, don't take the risk with her. Because at this point, it's about your life. It's about you now trying to preserve the little thing you have in you called life. Because as I stated here, if your health get complicated, life going to simplify. 10,000 things don't matter. Money don't matter. Cars don't matter. What matters to you is I want to get well. So if your so-called boyfriend coming from way America, you're so excited to meet him. Don't believe that those who in America here, the people can just go waste the medication in the street so nobody here sick. There are a lot of people who sick. There are a lot of people here who sick. When you go to the hospital, you go to the nursing home and thing, you see people sick, really sick. There are a lot of people here with HIV and AIDS. But the difference is you can talk to someone here with HIV and AIDS and the person look in your face and say, oh, I'm HIV positive. I'm HIV positive. And they ain't gonna be like, oh, my news. I'm HIV positive. No. You'll be talking and be like, oh, I have to go to the hospital tomorrow to get my medication. You'd be like, okay. What a medication for? I said, oh, I was diagnosed with HIV and AIDS. And the conversation go on. They ain't having anything like, oh, I'm scared before you stigmatize me. They don't care. Because they know it's common. You can live with it. But you can live with it in a better country. You can live with it in a better country. But for Liberia, if your boyfriend coming from here December, you better tell him we're going to do our test. If your girlfriend is back home, or you have multiple girlfriends you're going to meet in December, or if you have in your mind that, oh, this December I'm going to enjoy myself, I will take advantage of them again. They play again, other again, I'll be giving you $20 bucks. Make sure you do your HIV test with them. Make sure you tell the guys, say they have free testing. JFK have free testing. A lot of places have free testing. Know your girlfriend status. Don't rush into enjoyment because of December and come back home and affect or give your entire family the run for their life. That would be so dangerous to do. I'll give you the little short story before I leave. You know, when I went to Liberia for, I think, 11 days. 11 days. What an interesting 11 days. Asheri, my friend here following me as well. Archie. So, no, I've been on Liberia for some time, and though I still remember a lot of places, but there are some places where I couldn't just remember everything. So my guys and myself that night were driving around because we're going to my brother, what his name, Franco La Panta. We're in school now. We're in JJ Roberts, and Franco, he got his cigar bar in Cinco. I don't know which part of Cinco. So we met and said, oh, let's go to Franco cigar bar. We're going to sit down there smoke. So we decided to drive to Franco cigar bar. But I think I forgot it was on a Sunday. And Franco, I know he don't open on Sunday. So we drove Cinco to Franco cigar bar, and the cigar bar was closed. So I was like, well, I'll be going back. Maybe I think I'll leave the next day. I said, I'll be leaving the next day. And let's find somewhere we just sit down so you can just enjoy yourself. I know my visit was a little boring because, you know, I can't drink, I can't smoke, I can't woman not. So it's just boring. So now we went to one place called Opoto, 24th Street. So we got Opoto and the music playing, you know, right outside, the music playing so loud. I think that the place is owned by Lebanese or something. They're playing the music, playing everybody back. Boop, 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 boop. So I saw two girls sitting opposite me. You know, usually I get places from my background. I love observing. I enter the place first, look for acid, and then I love doing those things. So don't think I'm weird if I'm doing those. Music playing, two girls sitting right opposite me. Man, I noticed both of them were they're two little, I don't know, Savannah Dry or what kind of drink they were drinking. And it took forever. They just sitting, and I could tell they were looking for someone to put something on the table. So I told my other guy, I said, hey, bro, the two girls are sitting there. I want to help them. He said, my mate, you want to help them? I said, yeah. I said, okay. When the waitress come, tell her to give them what they want. So the two girls came. When the waitress came, the waitress asked them what you guys want. They said, who offering us? Then the waitress turned around, show her hand. I said, yeah, y'all take what y'all want. They call for, I know, whatever. They brought a table, I think 2 bottles each. And they started drinking. Now, later on, we're about to leave. So I look at him, I say, well, bro, I'm going to get it again and smarty now. So the children sitting by themselves will now provide the first 2 bottles. I know they will want drink something later on. So we're about to leave. I walk to them. I say, hey, I'm leaving. This is $20. You can have what you want later on. Man. So I walk. I saw the other lady came running behind me. Excuse me. I said, yes, how may I help you? She said, oh, you wanted to talk to me? I said, hell no. She said, oh, you want to talk to me? I said, talk to you about what? You know, I have the kind of weird, my face always weird, like, some people feel my face unfriendly, but my face now friendly. She look at me like, oh, you don't want to talk to me? I said, no, I just help you because I saw you guys sitting. She said, do you want my number? I said, hell no. She said, can I have your number? I said, hell to the no. I said, okay, have a nice day. And I go in my car, and my guys are like, oh, my man, you probably reacting, Joe. I said, not a point. But that's why I came for something completely different. So why should I go into that? So those are the things I just spoke of. So you can almost get women for free. So those leaving December with this breaking news of 36,000 people, the result that came out today in Liberia have HIV and AIDS, you gotta be very careful. You gotta have a frank conversation. You gotta look in a girl face and ask her, hey, how old are you? When last you did your HIV test? When you say, oh, just recently say, are you willing to do your test tomorrow if I take you somewhere to do the test for free? And you gotta know. Don't go just dash yourself out there because you're from America. You get a few new sneakers on your foot, you're wearing a few Walmart t-shirt, and it's so white on you, and they put in a shirt brown, so if you could just nickel yourself anywhere you go, you might get a run of your life. That's just a warning to those of you who will be leaving to go to Liberia soon, and those little girls in the community. Tell that uncle, say, uncle, can you wear condom? Because I know you're not brave to say it to him. Tell the uncle, say, uncle, can you wear condom? When uncle said, no, why you want me to wear condom for? I said, uncle, you hear the news here? They say plenty of people in town here get AIDS, and I stay young. Because imagine the age range from 15 years old to 49 years old. And 36,000 people tested. So imagine how many people has not been tested. There are tons of people, almost 60, some 1,000 people positive, or nobody know. They just walking all around the community, spraying it, giving it to the person, other person, give it to the other person, other person, give it to the other person, other person, give it to the other person. That's how it's happening in our country. So be very careful. Be very careful. Take your health in your own hands. Your health should be in your own hand. Yeah, did you know all the spice in the cigar bar on that kid? All right, so thank you everybody for joining us today. So let's go through some of our comments here and see what do we have for tonight. I know a lot of people have been following us here, but you know, when I'm ready to talk about some things that are so dear to my heart, I don't go to the comment section. So I see my dear brother and friend Achi. Achi said, Dada, yo, thank you for watching. Quinn, I'm watching. Thank you for watching, Quinn. Thank you so much. My dear brother and the Secretary General of the Liberian community of Indiana, Mr. Rudolph S. Bala Sr. I don't think the conversation should be limited to sex. HIV and AIDS have different modes of transmission. I like that, Rudolph. So I would like for us to talk about it too. If you would love to come on one of these days, probably we can set a date and let's talk something different, not just politics. Let's talk about HIV and AIDS. I love that. There are other modes of transmission, yes, which is I'm aware of as well. But you're talking about the most simplest way of the transmission. The most simplest way to get HIV and AIDS, that's through sex. Sometimes needle from hospital. Yes, you can get HIV and AIDS from that. Sometimes somebody to have cuts and you go do first aid, you have cut. It also transmission take place as well. But there are so many other ways. But I would love to have you, Rudolph, if you have the time, we can talk about some of these things. David Johnson, David, what's up? How you doing? We have the former president of the Liberian community of Indiana, Mr. Rufus Tati. He said, good evening, Phil. Good show. And who do we have? Juaja, I know your real name. I know your real name. You know it's Becca. She said, Mr. Rudolph S. Bala Sr., or maybe he's on the sex aspect. And we'll go on to the next. Yes, you're right. You're right. Today, I was just trying to talk more about the most easier and most common way people have these things. I see Brittany Alpha, former youth chair of the Liberian community of Indiana. She said when they come back, they need to be tested. Girl, I can tell you for sure. Any man come from Liberia right now, regardless how you love him. The first thing having conversation about HIV and AIDS shouldn't be something that has to do with society bush. No. That's the only way you tell your husband or your boyfriend, hey babe, the way you from Liberia, do you want to go to Eskenazi? Why? So you can get tested tomorrow. He'd be like, what you trying to say? Say me I come from having sex? No, baby. Why would I say so? Probably you try to help somebody in that place and you have a cut on your hand and the blood or whatever, or you got it from this other means or that other means. Why sex will run to your mind? Get him to be relaxed and you'll go, yeah, you do your text and be sure. And be sure. Trust me. The Honorable Zion Glad Cheyi, incoming lawmaker, Magibi County. How you doing, my dear brother? Juaja, she said the country, they think every help sometime behind a low, so I don't blame her. Yeah, that's true. You're right. You're right. Didier, the man know the cigar bound, not just say ayaka. I got that. The Honorable Zion Glad Cheyi here, he laughing, but my brother, we still love NRBO. I know. I'm not saying, my man, I know you're an investor. You got project. You got a lot of things going on in NRB. I'm talking about people like you. I'm talking about, I was just generalizing it, you know. I don't want to be so personal because I know anybody who come from Labrador and they go womanize. But, I just try to send a word of caution out, to few of, because the report today coming out of there, 36,000 to go, 36,000. The number here. It's so hard to the point where when I think about it, my head can hear. 36,000 people. In 2024, it was 34,000. Then just to count in 1 year later, 36,000 people according to Data Nuta. So if Data Nuta say this, it means the 34,000 people already previously in 2024 were tested. Now, just to test people who walk in you, not people who in a community they have no access to, and they don't have voluntary testing center around. They don't even have means of telling you that your information will be confidential. It is scary. It is scary. And see the reason why they gave here for the very high number of these things here. They said the reason why these things are spreading, according to the expert, they say health expert attribute the gender disparity to a combination of biological vulnerability and socio-economic challenges, including poverty, limited access to healthcare, gender-based violence, and inadequate sexual and reproductive health education, particularly among young girls and women. So see what that is. So of these numbers we just named here, of the 36,000 people who are HIV positive, 24,000 of them are women. 24,000 are women. So think about it. So it is sad. Like my sister said here, it is really, really, really scary. 24,000 women, young girls from the age of 15 coming down with these things. So it is sad. We got to take precautionary measure. We got to make sure we get tested. And I'm encouraging all of my brothers and sisters and whoever person back home. The best to do now, know your status. Go and know your status. Go and know your status. At least when you know your status, you'll be starting as a fresh and a new person. Don't go relax and say, oh, you know what? I think they're talking about me. I get it. How you know you don't get it? Because the way they say when people get it, that he can be hurting, they can be having short breath. They can be having this one. They can be having that one. So all that thing is because they're happy to me and I get it. Don't say so. Go and know your starter. So we have so many other topics here. We're going to go on any topic for now before you dilute this HIV and AIDS subject. So we want to say to all of you, the veteran SPO. All right. So I see my own B sister here. My B sister said this is very serious. A married couple, we need to be tested. Don't think because he or she is your spouse mean anything. I like that from the professor. You see, long time you ain't see the professor, you're asking about the professor. But the professor all the time, the few days you call me, the few days you said you were PA. That's true. This is why the professor just put on the screen. This is very serious. As married couple, we need to be tested. And it's true. Because I'm going to sit down here, my wife thinking that, oh, finna go to work, come away. My husband by, I know it. Every second, I know it. It's scheduled, I know it. I'm going to be eating something on the side. She didn't know. Or I might think my wife's so perfect. Oh, my wife, I know everywhere she go. When she go, she with her friends. And when she for her friend, she might be eating something on the side. I didn't even know. At the end of the day, when we kind of compare notes, whatever she has, she give it. Whatever I have, I give it. That's where people transfer spirit. And now in transferring spirit, you transfer everything you have. That's why before intimacy occur, you say to yourself, whatever the person having or whatever I'm having, I'm prepared, willfully, wholeheartedly passing it on before you pass it on. That's why when two people commit fornication, two of them can be looking funny. They can just soon they finish, they start laughing at each other straight. They have to bring different conversation before they can change that topic. So what Professor Pele said here is very important. Don't think because, oh, he's my husband, I ain't think we need to get tested. Or he's my girlfriend, I ain't think. We need to get tested. We all need to get tested. This is very important. Thank you so much, Professor Pele, for that point. Husband and wife, boyfriend, girlfriend, small, big, everybody need to get tested. Labrador cannot be discussing drugs now on the market. Young people been getting into drugs and it's serious. Now we have to talk about HIV and AIDS. Rudolph, what you say? Rudolph, what you laughing for? You see, the Secretary General, you're laughing at me. Yeah, okay, Rudolph, I agree, Rudolph. Yeah, Professor Pele is right. It's right. Husband, wife, we need to get tested. Did you say, I want to hear that cigar bar story again. I kill. Didier, relax. Relax, Didier. Bernice. What pretty I say? Bernice is very true. Even if you just in a relationship but not married, that's true. Everyone need to get tested because no one is free from these things. Especially with the situation in Liberia, look at the population. Because those in America, fine. They can deal with it. Here you have different medication. I sat with somebody before. Friend of mine, an older lady. We have a conversation. And she said, oh, Philip, you know I'm HIV positive. I said, oh, really? She said, yeah, I was done with HIV. And she talking in general, we having a conversation. I was done so time I take this medication. I like, you know how Liberian how we be when somebody say HIV, we want to find different seat. First, you know, I'm my face, we said it. I jack. I won't feel my face. I say, no, compose yourself. You know, it's bubble. I face myself. Then the next thing as I come into my mind, when she coming close to me, I'll be like, oh, come in, out. But she was having a regular conversation, like, hey, I've been diagnosed with this time. So here it's easy. People here diagnosed with HIV, they get a medication, hospital prescribed, and they just take the medication and passing by you, passing by them. Not. But imagine Liberia, where you gonna pick a medication off from? The stigma. So before that time comes, do your test. Early testing is better. That's what sister and go do the test. That's what brother and go do the test. All our big boy, big Judah in government feed. As soon as you get government power now, you can just misuse and abuse my Judah. All my young Judah. Especially the other one I was speaking to, I know some of you not like it. Most of you who just say now who in the morning when we see you say, oh, put your hand bad. You get car, you can't afford the gas. Somebody got to put the gas in the car. Then you get it, you say, oh, I go into town. You go to town, you sit down to Rurally, or you go, you sit down to one restaurant. Then the man wait for his break time, come meet you to the restaurant. Then he buy all the food for you to the restaurant. Then he take you down to the boutique. You see that you say, let me get the money. Then the man go buy you one Louis Vuitton bag for $400. Teenage you can't afford. He offering you. And you believe that you get your own god part. What you going to town for? That god part get another god daughter get another god dig girl. So That's it. They say let it way. I say what two folk come fornication, they can be looking funny. That's true, brother. That's a name right there. When two folk commit fornication, two of them low funny now. They just confused. Now somebody got to bring some topic to change it, or else they will just start laughing at each other and talking about things that are irrelevant. Yeah. So now, please, with all the category of people I mentioned here, are asking God to please speak to your heart. Go get tested. It's not a crime, oh. Go get tested. And it's so easy and fast. And you'll never know how you'll be so relieved. They did it. They say, oh, your test is negative. You can be like, oh, I remember the first time I ever do HIV and AIDS test. But that time I was frisky. I was, man, 27, 26 years old, stay in school. Man, used to bear my elbow too. Getting child, having multiple girlfriends, feel that it was fun, when you're young. Till when I started to apply for this position, and the prerequisite to having this identical position is to go through HIV and AIDS test. I was like, the first thing I came in my mind for the counselor, I said, Philip, you want people to tell you your greatest secret right now? Will you live with it? You think the team will be small thing? You think how your family poor even look at you? You think the community, all the getting you been having, you think what the getting will say about you? You want tell me you'll be going to Black Gate to be getting your medication? All the things that came to my head. One thing came to my mind, I said, but even if I know and it come out later on, I will still have to face it. So why can I just know and prevent it? I walked out money and they have to talk to me again and say, do you still want to do it? I said, yes. And they did the test. They said, okay, now you're in the period of the 90 days window period. For now, if you had a virus yesterday, the virus will not detect now. So it take up to 90 days for the virus to start to show up. So after 90 days, we'll do it. After 3 months again, I went back. And when they said negative, it was looking like you just pass all one DV or you pass Wyatt. That's how it was looking at me. I was like, oh my gosh. Now I started being afraid now of Jew now. When Jew can't say Jew, a lot of you. When last time deal 18, mama. Why? Because I know my own status. Do you know your status? That's how it works. So the sooner you know your status, the better it will help. Small Jew in the community tell uncle say uncle welcome down. Until you know your status. Big Julian, I know the uncle doing everything. I know he buying the handbag, he paying the rent. You want to tell him, say, oh, welcome down, because they say the person that put food in your mouth, the person control your stomach. So when the man can do everything for you, you can't tell him what to do. And all papa in that time will tell you, say, oh, they use the way by mentality. So you tell him, say, oh, can you work on it? Say, I let that thing. That thing can make me load it. Go deep body. I let that thing. Nah. A way back country mentality come to him flesh to flesh. Now you need the flesh to flesh. Now he taking it back to your own wife. And I was there. The reason I'm speaking today, I'm speaking from experience. The reason why you see me now, 61 year old. I'm speaking from experience because I live for long. You can take it anyway, 61. When I 61, I've been here. I just call my real age. 61 years old. Because I'm speaking from experience. I have lived. I've seen things. I've been in the corridor. I've been with the older ones. I've been with the younger ones. I add old sometimes because all my coming over used to be amongst so old people. I used to sit down with a lot of old people just to hear, just to know. Because where I was going, I wanted to get there before time. So this is my advice to you today. And I want to say nothing else. I'm going to know. Richard, my sister, we'll talk about it another time. Richard, we'll talk about all the leadership or the community or whatever, but we're not talking about it today. Richard said I'm going to tell him what the vice president is supposed to do, or vice president of a non-for-profit organization, what the function of a vice president. I plan to talk about that today as well. And I will leave that. We'll talk about it another time. So until we meet again, I want to say to you all, thank you for joining us. Thank you for being a Logan's Hour. It's a privilege to be here serving you. And I'm honored to always be here. I have tried and I will try to make it my duty to always come here on Tuesday and Thursday to tell you what is important and how can we prevent ourselves. But today, it was very touching to know that a lot of people in our country suffering from HIV and AIDS today. 36,000 people today announced, and of the 36,000, 24,000 of them are all female. So to see how it is high among our women, our young girls. So I'm asking some of you who already know your status and you know you're HIV positive, please don't be spraying it. Please don't say because you get some more money, you just keep spraying it because you want proof your point. It is sad to do so. Please, let's know our status. Let's prevent ourselves. If possible, if you know your status, stay with one person. You ain't gotta be all around the community. You're not community hero. Until we meet again, I want to say thank you. My name is Philip. So you guys got to see Hotel Logan. I'll be here again next week Tuesday. I want to say bye-bye for now and have a good evening. Until we meet.